Have you ever wondered why a brand that's a huge success in one country just completely bombs when it tries to expand somewhere else? Well, there's a hidden reason so many of these global playbooks fall apart, and it's probably not what you're thinking. Today, we're going to get into the real secret that separates massive success from total failure in global franchising.
And this idea, this insight, it comes from Omar ALHAZA'A. He's a global expansion strategist and the founder of Franchise Arabia. So, he's seen this exact pattern play out again and again right from the front lines of international business.
Okay, so let's get right into it. There is a standard, kind of universal playbook that everyone uses for franchise expansion. But, and this is a big but, what most brands don't get is that this playbook has a hidden trap, one that can quietly and totally sink their entire venture.
And here it is. This is the core of the problem. Most of these models, especially from Western brands, are transactional by their very nature. I mean, it's all about the efficiency of the deal itself, getting from point A to point B as fast as humanly possible.
And when you look at the process, it seems so simple, so logical, right? You present your brand, you negotiate the terms, you sign on the dotted line, and then you execute. It's clean, it's linear, and it's built for speed.
And look, let's be fair. In a lot of places around the world, this four-step dance works just fine. But when brands try to use this exact same model in the Middle East and North Africa, the MENA region, it almost always fails. This is where that hidden trap finally springs.
So what's really going on here? Well, this failure points to a huge clash between two completely opposing mindsets. And we're not just talking about business models. We're talking about a really deep cultural difference in how a deal is even seen in the first place.
And this just lays it out perfectly. The transactional way of thinking, it's obsessed with the what. How much are the fees? How big is the territory? How fast can we do this? The goal, the only goal, is to get that contract signed. But the relationship mindset, it's all about the who and the why. The people involved, whether your visions actually align, the real intent behind the whole thing. The goal isn't a signature, it's building a real partnership.
So here's the key idea. Relationship-driven franchising is all about building the foundation before you even think about building the actual store. It's a strategy where mutual trust and having a shared vision are the most valuable things you can have, way more important than any little clause in a contract.
This brings us to what might be the most underestimated part of any global deal, the human side of it. Brands get so focused on spreadsheets and numbers that they totally forget what actually drives success on the ground.
Listen to this because it's so important. The partner matters as much as, sometimes more than, the brand itself in the early years. Just let that sink in for a second. In those first critical years, the actual person representing your brand in a new country can have a bigger impact than your brand itself. Wow.
And the difference in the outcome here is it's night and day. A strong partner is patient. They actually care about growing the brand the right way, making sure it's healthy for the long run. On the flip side, a weak partner, even one who signed what looks like a great contract, is just going to quietly damage your brand's reputation, and that leads to an inevitable and usually very expensive failure.
So all of this really forces us to completely redefine what a win even looks like. The real victory isn't won at the negotiating table, it's proven in the years that come after.
We have this tendency to celebrate signing day like it's the finish line, right? But it's not. It's the starting gun. The real test comes later. At year 5, are you and your partner even on the same page anymore? And then at year 10, is the brand actually thriving in that market? Those are the questions that really matter.
And that brings us to the bottom line, the one thing you really need to remember from all this. It is not a race to see who can sign a deal the fastest. The real win is finding the people who will stay aligned with your vision for the long, long haul. That is the only way to build something that lasts. So, we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Whatever it is you're working on, you have to ask yourself this one simple question. Is my goal a signed contract, or is it a thriving, long-term partnership? Because really, the answer to that question is going to determine everything that happens next.